Yo, we back again. Four Quarters Podcast. You got your boy D Hump and my
Yo,
mans.
Mitty, man, you already know what it is, man. What's up with y'all?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So Smiz, man, we went to a very cold game this
Cold
past
as
weekend.
fuck.
Like ridiculously cold. And what's crazy is when we went to the game last year, the Moeller Centerville game, it was something about this time of the year. It's just guaranteed to be miserable. And
Oh,
we were suited and booted and still couldn't make it. But the game we talking about in particular was Saint X versus Middletown. And we have been, I wouldn't say ranting and raving, but I would say the last 3 to 4 weeks, we've really been shouting out Saint X's defense. We saw Middletown up close and personal when they played Springfield, and you and I were very impressed with Middletown's defense as well. So this was really a battle of two major elite defenses and okay offenses, and really came down to who is actually going to produce points. And, I guess started off, Spiz, just kind of, give us your perspective on the game.
Middletown really had some opportunities, man. They what was it? The first drive they came out, big play. Your man Rick Owens. Rick Owens caught
Yeah,
a
shout out to
bomb.
Rick Owens.
You wasn't there yet. So
I
yeah,
didn't
Rick
pull up.
Owens caught a bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hey man, before we get into it, hey, welcome stadium. Y'all are fucking pitiful. I just want to let y'all know that right now. Like that
Hey,
parking situation was just crazy. Like y'all squeezing the pennies out of like
oh man,
y'all gotta do something better.
that was a terrible experience.
Y'all gotta do better.
That's
But
why I was late. Let's
yeah, I
just be
know. That's what
real.
made me say that. Like, damn, that parking
Yeah,
was crazy. So but yeah, Rick Owens caught a bomb. First play, Middletown get the ball. First drive, Middletown get the ball. Rick Owens caught a bomb. They get it down in the red zone. There was a targeting call. I kind of felt like he could have caught the pass, but he dropped it, and Middletown settled for 3. I want to say then what? St. X comes back and score? Do they score? Yeah, they
saying that.
come down and score.
Yeah,
Yeah, they come back and score 7-3. Middletown's defense, man, they played a hell of a game. It was just the offense just really couldn't give them nothing. There was another possession, I want to say, where they missed a field goal to go down 7-6, I want to say, at one point.
yeah.
Had a trick play. Man, wide open.
Oh man,
Running back just underthrew him. The defense couldn't have played any better. I want to give a shout out to Tyree Kittle, man. I forgot you was over there at Middletown, so my fault, bro.
yeah. He
But
got those boys
yeah,
crazy.
I gotta give you your props on that Middletown defense, man, because they definitely was one of the best defenses in the state, man. So yeah, the offense couldn't get nothing going, and then them Hogs over there at St. X, man, they just. I think what was the score when we left? 20 what?
I think it
21?
was. I think it was the actual game. It was 21-6. I think is
21.
when we left, and no activity happened after that. That was the game.
Yeah, St. X, man, they they did what we thought they was going to do, especially defensively. We definitely knew it was going to be a defensive game, so
Mm-hmm.
that wasn't a shocker. It was like we've been saying, the tail of the offenses, and X just had more
More
offense
polished.
than
Yeah.
Middletown.
Yeah, man. When I look at it, man, X just seemed to the difference between those two teams, in my opinion, came down to I would say about this much talent because they were very close in talent. It's like if Saint X had an edge, Middletown also had an edge in certain respects. I would probably say Middletown had an edge in terms of linebackers, but Saint X had an edge in terms of linebackers, but Middletown's linebackers wasn't no slouch. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't no chumps. I would say Middletown for sure had the better secondary, and I would still probably say that Middletown has the best secondary that I've seen in all football this year, pound for pound. But again, St. X has quite a secondary as well. They got a safety going to Clemson. So it just like you said came down to the offense. And I'm looking at the difference in terms of polish. It's like when when Middletown made a mistake, St. X made them pay every single time. When St. X made a mistake, Middletown failed to execute. You talked about the first quarter play, which was, I want to say, the first drive, right? Where
Yeah.
they had a bomb, they had an opportunity. And I think that kid's name that we keep calling him Rick Owens, I think his name is Ace Cooper.
So
Shout out to Ace, man. He's a stud. I hope that he gets a big time offer. I don't know if he's signed yet, but that kid's pretty impressive. But they get the first drive, almost score, settle for 3. You mentioned the one play where they ran a trick play, and it was pretty much the same play that Florida made popular with Tim Tebow,
yeah.
where he looks like he's going to rush, and at the very last minute, kind of throws a jump pass. And the pass was a little low, may have been a little short, but it touched his hands, and that's what really killed me about Middletown. Was it's just like, man, there's opportunities there for you to seize the day. But when you're playing against a team like St. X, who has the experience, who has the polish, you can't have mishaps like that. You almost have to play, I wouldn't call it a perfect game, but you got to be on your ding the whole game. And I just feel like Middletown wasn't there offensively in terms of the polish. And shout out to St. X. Every single time Middletown got caught slipping, it was a touchdown. That very last touchdown where you kind of pointed out that, hey, the inside scoop on Middletown is they're hyper aggressive. Lots of blitzes. You know what I'm saying? They live and die with that aggression. And that makes sense because they got the athletes to do it. But St. X being very crafty, it's like, okay, I see y'all blitzing. I see what's going on. I'm gonna hit you with this bubble screen real quick. We ain't did this in a minute, and now I got you. And when they hit him with that play, it was a touchdown. And it wasn't like they was in short field. I believe it was like a 30 to 40-yard run. So it just lets me know that, when you really break it down on that sideline is where the game is being won. I'm talking about the coaches because they're calling a better game than Middletown. And the whole time that Middletown was down, in the back of my mind, I kept nudging you. I was like, hey, man, that quarterback at St. X, he's a gamer, but no disrespect to the kid, but he's not really that talented. He's not really a good thrower. He's not really a good, quarterback in terms of reading defense and making plays. He's a gamer. He'll put his head down and run. He'll make good passes. He's got some athletes over there, but he's liable to throw a pick, and he did. It's just Middletown didn't have what it takes to execute. I didn't see any offensive execution. A couple field goals, and that's about it. And it's hard to beat a team like St. X or any of these monster GCL teams, the Olentangies, the St. Eds of the world. It's going to be very difficult to beat them scoring 6 points off a field goal.
No, for sure. For sure. And you definitely pointed that out about St. X's quarterback. Even when we went to the Elder game, when he threw that pick down in deep territory, he was like 3rd and 11. I don't like that. Like they don't have an offense to where they're going to capitalize off those long drives. They need a nice little 3rd and 5, 3rd and 3,
Definitely.
or something like that. 3rd and 9.
Definitely. Right.
Like
It
that.
needs something manageable.
Out for them, especially if they have to pass. And it ain't even saying like they got a weak passing offense.
Mm-mm.
It's basically saying, like you said, no knock, it's the quarterback's
It's
decision
him.
at that time.
It's him, man. It's coming down to decision making because you got to see the field. And when you playing a team like Middletown, who's got speed everywhere, who's aggressive, they got an edge guy that you got to look out for, number 3. And I believe he's going to Rice. You got to look out for this guy. And we saw a couple times where, when you mentioned earlier, the Hogs for St. X, this was probably one of the first games. And like I said, I haven't seen Middletown that much. But compared to what he had to deal with in Springfield, number 3, compared to what he had to deal with at St. X, you could just tell that offensive line was a whole different animal. They was able to move.
It got off, but it wasn't.
He did, yeah.
It wasn't easy peasy like it was versus Springfield.
Right. And shout out
the coaches, man. I mean, it comes down to just the coaching and game planning, and I'm pretty sure that offensive staff, their game plan was the stop number 3 or to contain as much as you can.
They did, and they did, man. I mean, and don't get me wrong, I'm putting a lot of emphasis on Middletown's defense, but again, St. X, if Middletown has one of the best defenses, you could argue that St. X has the best defense. And when you look at your man, I believe his name is Aiden Reeder. He's going to that school up north you like for some reason. I don't know why. But he had 10 tackles, two plus sacks. It's funny because the game before that, you got to put a lot of emphasis on Kobe Clapper and what he did. He was the star of that game, the previous game against Elder. Now, when you look at last week's game against Middletown, again, stars, if you're a star, you come to play, you shine. And now you had Aiden Reeder, his opportunity, who's just a monster unit, 10 tackles all over the field, 2 sacks, and I believe he had 5 tackles for loss. Kobe wasn't behind him very far. He also had 10 tackles. But you're talking about a linebacking core that almost single-handedly can wreak havoc in a game and change everything.
No, for sure, for sure. They definitely some studs, man, and the defense might be able to get them a ring, man, depending on if they can stop that orange offense, man.
Hey man, so let's go ahead and pivot to that real quick. I mean, before we dive all the way into what we think about Orange, I wanna talk about St. Edwards just for a second. And this is something that I saw with St. Edwards, when I look through the roster, right? The roster typically tells me a lot. When I start looking through your roster and I see multiple Division One commits, I see 3 stars, I see 4 stars plus, it lets me know that there's a level of talent there to get excited about. And when I look through St. Edwards' roster, even though they were beating all these teams, they were doing all this damage, I had Mentor winning it, which was really just a shot in the dark. Man, I just wanted to go against the grain and just get St. Ed's up out of there. But of course, St. Ed's demolished those guys. But I didn't see anybody in the roster from St. Ed's this past year that impressed me. When you look at those state-run teams, they had Division I guys everywhere. What they had, 2 or 3 offensive line going to Northwestern, Wisconsin, 2 going to Ohio State. They had an edge rusher, 6'4" cat going to Northwestern. They had corners, everything. This past year, I didn't see that with St. Edwards, and that concerned me a little bit because when you look at that Olentangy roster, hey, man, studs everywhere.
That recruiting trail getting light up there, man.
Mm-hmm. It ain't it no more, huh?
I mean, man, I definitely, I've been hating. I've been on the hate train of
For
St.
sure.
Ed. You feel me?
Right.
So we got record of it. You feel me?
Right,
So
right, right.
like, I'm cool with them losing, but I ain't think they was gonna get shut out. That was the interesting thing to me was they ain't even put up a field
Mm-mm.
goal. So that
Mm-mm.
just tells me that they couldn't stop nothing and
Mm-hmm.
they couldn't score nothing. You feel me? So man,
It only makes
Orange might
Olentangy.
be who you said they
Right,
was. Man.
right.
I know I got a few people in Columbus, man, that been telling me like Orange, man, Orange is legit, Orange is legit, and I ain't doubted them. But that this past win versus Saint Ed, and like you said, even though they don't got those names, hey, you there? You're Saint Ed.
Right.
You know what's on that jersey. So
Superior system, coaching, confidence.
not
That's
to
why
put
they
up
were
a
there.
field goal, man. That's scary, man. Might shift
Man,
shift my decision a different way, man.
listen, man. I tell you, man, you really got to pay attention to Olentangy right now. And we knew it when we saw him. But the thing is, we're in this G-Walk, GCL dominated region. And we went up to Columbus to see Olentangy versus Upper Arlington, who was also tough. But when you see so much great football in our region, to go to Columbus, I mean, you really have to impress us to make us believe that you're number one. And Olentangy did that. But I think you and I still kind of in the back of our minds, the verdict was still out. I think they're number one. I think this is one of the best teams I've seen in the state outside of Anderson and some of the other guys, but I really don't know. You see them run through their whole division. Who they beat? They beat Pick Central. They Upper Arlington was in there. They didn't play them, but they ended up getting dusted off, and then they ended up
Defeated.
beating them. Well, so let's think about this for a second.
Beat defending champs, Liberty.
That's what I was about to say. I was about to say that when you look at how they beat St. Edwards 28-0, they barely beat Liberty. And Liberty was kind of on a St. X vibe where Liberty wasn't playing that well and they started to uptick a little bit. And they beat Liberty, 21-17? So when you think about it, that is the best and most competitive game that Olentangy has had the whole playoffs. So once they knocked off the defending champs, they might have been in the clear until they come to St. X. So, I mean, maybe give your assessment, man. I mean, you've seen St. X 4, 5, 6 times this year. You saw Olentangy. You're keeping your finger to the pulse of these guys. Who has the advantage in this game? Because this is, to me, I'm sorry I can't be there. I just really don't feel like going to Canton, man. I'm sorry. It's
No, for sure.
cold. Ain't nothing going on in Canton after the game. It's not lit. I'm sorry. But what is your assessment on this game? Because I think this is going to be a banger.
To me, I feel like we've been saying the last few matchups that we've been going to, man. This is an offensive game. Like the defenses, I feel like the defenses is going to hold it down. It's what offense show up, and on paper, stats, Olentangy going to show up. They
You better know it.
that quarterback. I think the quarterback had 2 touchdowns, and I want to say the receiver had 2 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they that offense don't look like it's slowing down anytime soon. One thing for sure, two things for certain, they're gonna put up points and they're gonna stop people. So
Facts. I mean, these guys are impressive. I mean, they got a quarterback. See, to me, is you always have an edge when your quarterback is a Division I commit. You don't see that all the time. Middletown has no quarterback that is a Division I commit. St. X has no quarterback that is a Division I commit. St. Ed, same way. There's multiple teams out there. Having a Division I commit at the quarterback spot is kind of rare. Olentangy has that. We know this kid is an athletic stud. We know he can throw. We know he can run. And then they got an absolute monster in number 5 at the running back spot. Who me and you, I didn't know if this was Adrian Peterson, Bo Jackson.
he nice. He was nice.
I mean, he was strong and I mean he was just running through shit. You know what I mean? So these guys are stacked. And if I'm not mistaken, the defense is the same way. They got studs everywhere. I can't recall the entire roster. Like I said, this was a team that I only saw one time. And from the time I saw them, very similar to Anderson and the D2 side, I was like, hey, man, this might be the best team in football, man. I mean, you feel me? I only seen them once, you know what I mean? But I didn't see any flaws. So when I look at this matchup, man, St. X is a weird one because it's like if you count them out, you can't count. And we've counted them out, or I have counted them out countless times, and they just keep showing me that these guys got serious heart. They're winners, they're gamers. And that defense, again, is elite talent. But when I look at Olentangy, it's like, man, I got to go with the quarterback. I really put emphasis at the high school level when you got a D1 commit as a quarterback. They got a running back who's a D1 commit. They got a wide receiver that's a D1 commit. I believe they got multiple D1 commits on defense. If St. X has any edge, it's on the defensive end, but I don't know if they've faced a team with equally as good a defense and an offense like Olentangy. The only team that I can compare Olentangy to is Elder. That's the only one that I can compare in D1 football right now that I've seen, where Elder pretty much had no weaknesses.
No, for sure. But I feel like probably Orange is probably way faster. Probably way
That's a
faster.
good point. That's a good point. The speed will probably be the difference because I believe Elder has, if he's not Division I commit, he probably will soon be a Division I commit in East Step. So they got the quarterback spot sold up. But again, to your point, I think you're not only dealing with Division I commits, great defense, great offense, but to your point, you're dealing with a whole set of better athletes. And that might be a factor. So you're telling me you're going with Olentangy.
Yeah, man. I tip my hat to Saint X for having a wonderful season. But yeah, man, I don't really see I don't see them beating Olentangy just because it's gonna take a lot to stop that offense, man. Now, if they can stop that offense and then their offense come to play,
That's the key.
then you got a ball game. But I don't know, man. I feel like Orange it's their time to shine, man. Columbus, man.
Once again, man, that's the key, in my opinion, man. The key is, can Saint X score against this Olentangy Orange defense? We know Saint X is going. That defense is ridiculous. It's very fun to watch, but can y'all match these guys? This ain't Middletown. You know what I'm saying? This is not Middletown. But this is what, again, I'm beating a dead horse, but this is what makes the game so interesting, is because they beat Elder. They've shown that they can beat a team. They've shown that they can win multiple ways. If you
No,
want to
for
be
sure.
gritty, we can be gritty. If you beating us down and we down 27-7 like we was in Elder, and we need to get buckets, we need to put these points on the board. We need our stars on defense to turn defense to offense, just like Clapper. They can do that. So if I'm a betting man, my money's on Olentangy. But again, man, if you think you're going to count Saint X out, man, boy, be careful. Because they've shown
No,
us.
you're right. If I'm gonna do I want to go and we could do like a score prediction. I'll probably say I give it to Orange. I'm gonna go like I'm gonna go like 28-13, man.
Not bad.
28. I really want to say 28-7, but I got a little bit of confidence. So I'm gonna give them 28-13. They score and kick 2 field goals.
Hey, we need to see what the weather's going to be like, man. Let me see,
I
man.
know it's gonna be cold.
Oh, it's
Shit.
going to be vicious.
No, it's gonna be cold.
Yeah, it's going to be vicious. I would say, man, if you're giving out a score prediction, I would say 24-17 Orange.
24-17. That ain't bad, man.
I mean, if you wanted to go another score, you could probably say 31-17. But I think there'll be a field goal or two involved, some touchdowns. But I think Saint X will be overwhelmed by Orange at the end of the day. So that's my prediction, man.
There it is. Who you got? Anderson versus Avon, rematch of last year's state game. D2. I'm going
So
Anderson.
for sure.
I'm
All
going
right.
Anderson for the get back, man. With the
Right.
get.
So I'm rolling with Anderson, because just like Olentangy Orange, they were two teams that we branched out. There was nothing popping in the GCL. There was nothing popping in the G-Walk. We branched out, and we went to go see some new teams. When we went to go see Anderson, I was so impressed with those guys. I was also impressed with Winton Woods. Shout out to Winton Woods. That was still a great game. I still don't understand how they lost so early, but whatever. But I was very impressed with Anderson. Very similar to Olentangy. Talent everywhere on both sides of the ball. Great coaching, polished offense. They got units out there on defense, freaks. But this Avon team has been beating some studs, if I'm not mistaken, bro. Like, let me run the receipts real quick. Hold on, real fast, man. Give me 1 second, man, because I'm telling you right now, bro.
Avon been tough all year.
I'm telling you right now,
Anderson gonna
man.
get that get back, man. Get back gang, bro.
No doubt. So look, dude. Beat Walsh 38-7, bro.
Yeah, they smacked. Well, I was disappointed with that one. I had Walsh winning it too. 40.
I mean, bro, and the only team they lost to
Probably from out of state or something,
was
huh?
was a squad named Spruce Creek out of Port Orange, Florida.
I knew it.
I mean, bro, listen, man, I'm shooting. We, in my opinion, you and I are both shooting in the dark right now. We saw Anderson, so we know they're 100% legit, talent everywhere. But Avon is running through these guys. They beat Glenville, okay? They beat the brakes off Walsh Jesuit. Since the playoffs have started, you got what? 42-21 against Wadsworth, 36-19 against Highland, 38. They heating up, 38-7 against Walsh, and now we meet with Anderson. I'm going to go with Anderson because I know more about Anderson, but it sounds like Avon is the real deal, my guy.
No, for sure.
No games, no gimmicks. They probably can lace him up with anybody in Ohio right now. I'm gonna go Anderson, man, but I have no data to support that other than I've seen Anderson and they are fired. But other
No,
than that, I
you
don't.
right. You right. Yeah, I'm going Anderson just off us seeing it, but Avon going back to back. I mean, I just want Anderson to get that get back. That's all.
No doubt. No
That's
doubt. No doubt. And you know, they beat Big Walnut, who was tough. That was another stud team out there. You know, you're talking about, let me look here. Big Walnut only lost 2 games. One of those games was Anderson.
what probably. Oh, okay, okay.
Bishop Watterson, they lost to them very first game of the season.
I want to say Bishop Watterson was D3.
And they beat Massillon, who beat everybody. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Now, I will say this, and this is not taking anything away from Massillon. This is not taking anything away from the North. Those guys up north, Cleveland area, Massillon, all that. But I think an important question that might make a lot of fans up there mad is, was that region overrated this year? Was Mentor overrated? Was Massillon overrated? Was Glenville overrated? Was St. Ed's overrated? Because as soon as they got, you know, around the teams that we know, Olentangy put a smash on them. Avon, obviously they're legit. I'm not going to count these guys out, but I mean, I don't know, man. I just wonder how good that north area of football was this past year.
You say
Mentor's undefeated.
it was time to face off against them boys.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. And hey, don't get me wrong, they got all the chips. You feel me? So, but it
That
was their
recruiting
time.
trail, man. That
It's
recruiting
getting a
trail
little weird. Yeah,
light, man.
I don't know. I can't call it. I'm just
That
saying.
recruiting trail, man.
Man. It's not looking too good. It ain't like Massillon got smashed, but still, you know, we looked at these guys all year, and again, you're talking about 3 hours away from us, so you know we're fans and we're dedicated to the game, but it's gonna be tough for us to just make that Friday trip, and we ain't got nothing shaking afterwards for the whole weekend. But I'm saying we read the stats all year long. The North was jumping, and they look scary, but then they come down here, not so scary, man.
Yeah, we're gonna
They
try to make
all
our way up there next year, man. Get a little organization going on. Might
well,
try to take a game or two.
St. Ed should be coming to our neck of the woods in Cincinnati this coming year, though, because they play Moeller, I want to say, every year. And this time around, Moeller went to go see those guys, and Moeller got beat. So that was another thing that made St. Ed's actually look like a serious squad. So, but yeah, man. So we got Anderson for D2, we got Olentangy for Division One, and make no mistake, we could be completely wrong in both of those games because those other teams are that good.
No, for sure. Hoop
Before we,
season, man.
I was about to
Hoop
say before we
season,
head out,
man.
man.
Hoop
Yeah.
season.
Well, I was
Yeah,
gonna ask you.
we
I
had
was
our
gonna ask
first
you what the
game.
scoop was.
Yeah, we had our first game. Wayne went up to Columbus, played in the All Ohio Showcase versus Columbus Beechcroft. I say this with the utmost respect. The utmost respect when I say this, but Beechcroft was just ass. I'm sorry. But the positives I took away from the game, man, Wayne played really, really well. They played team ball. I want to say they probably played like 10 guys. Won by 30. Shout out to Tay, sophomore guard, got the MVP of the game, double double.
Very
But
nice.
yeah, they look real good, man. They look real good. Like I said, it's only the first game of the year, but as long as they play together, unselfishly, like defense, they look real, real good. Again, like I said, it wasn't the best of competition, but
But
just
they
to
did
see
what they were supposed to do.
the unselfishness this early in the season, it was real impressive. I'm sure the minutes going, you know, as the season gets going, the minutes will get cut, and, you know, stuff like that. But just to see how they played in their first game together, the football guys was back. Few of them got to shake the rust off, but for the most part, they look good, man. As long as they play unselfish and together. I feel like they could have a really good season, man.
So what's the situation with their big men? Are they running small ball?
No, the big man started.
Okay.
The big man,
How tall is he? About 6'6"?
he got to be probably like 6'7", 6'8", maybe. Because
Okay,
I
he's a
think
big dog.
he's like 6'5", 6'6". So
Hmm. And he's a
I
shooter.
kind of feel like it would be on team situation. Like if
Hmm.
a team come
Match
out
up.
so big, when you could probably take advantage of it, but it if it hurts you more than it helps you, I'm pretty sure you would adjust.
Hmm.
But um, yeah, man, I'm excited. There's a few cats, a young freshman guard from Alter that I've been seeing a lot that we gonna try to get to catch this year. A sophomore from Northridge,
Mm.
one of the
He's
top.
interesting.
I want to say he's the number one guy in the state. I want to say Keontre Smith. I want to say that's his name.
Mm.
So we gonna hit the ground running with the hoop, man. I don't know as far as the episodes how fast we gonna be able to get them out. I know they play every Tuesday, Friday, Saturday sometimes. I don't know when the females play, but we'll definitely be going to check out some few females. I know I definitely want to go see Springfield. They got a young guard, D2 commit Millie Portis. Want to go
Hmm.
check her.
Okay,
So yeah, man, we in hoop season now. Football over with. We got 1 week, and then we hitting the ground running with the hoop. So
for
yeah,
sure. For sure. Sounds like we got some exciting players in the area. I feel like hoop, because I've been a football head the last 3 years for sure, but I feel like hoop is starting to really pick back up. I'm hearing a lot more stars, hearing a lot more guys that you know you probably want to pull up on and get your eyes on in person for
no,
sure.
for sure, for sure. Definitely a lot of good talent. Dayton area, Cincinnati area, from freshmen to seniors. When we probably get a little bit more in depth, we'll have the names and stuff together. They give out rosters and stuff at the hoop session, so I'll be
Right.
able to get them. You feel me? So
We
we
can
can
get
get.
more familiar for sure.
But yeah, man. So just we about to just transition to the hoop season. So just stick with us, man, and we got y'all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, Smith. Go ahead and close it out, man. Man, I'm gonna drop a
Olentangy
hey man,
Anderson,
drop a little
Columbus,
cheers.
back to back, man. D1 champions. I'm calling it. My
Hey,
man
oh bro.
calling it all week, man. All my predictions been wrong for the most part. You feel? I'm going with Orange, man. If I'm wrong this time, it's me. It ain't the teams, it's me. I'm gonna go with me, man.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm about to move to Olentangy, man. Maybe I'll get some financial luck. Pockets might get fatter.
Olentangy,
Angie special.
man.
And
Man,
on the hoop size. All right, my God. Sign it off, man. 4 quarters.
you already know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.